Welcome to the Deep Dive. We're the show that takes articles, research your notes, and boils them down into, well, powerful, actionable insights. Our whole mission is to give you a shortcut, really, to being well-informed, uncovering maybe some surprising facts, and making even complex stuff genuinely engaging. Today, we're diving deep into something that's often overlooked, but incredibly powerful for English learners, especially if you're just starting out or maybe feeling a bit stuck. It's how to speak English alone.
Yeah, it's such a common hurdle, isn't it? So many learners think, I absolutely need a speaking partner to get better. Your notes really highlighted that feeling, that sense of isolation if you don't have someone right there to practice with. But what we're going to explore today, using the great material you shared, is that you don't always need a partner. In fact, practicing by yourself, it can be one of your most effective tools.
Okay, so it puts you in control then.
Exactly. Complete control. You can build fluency anytime, anywhere. Think of it like activating your own personal language lab, your voice.
Okay, let's really unpack that. Speaking English alone.
Yeah.
Because like you said, we're not just talking about thinking in English, right?
No, not just thinking. That's valuable, sure, for immersion. Internal monologue helps. But the real kind of transformational work that happens when you actually vocalize, use your voice out loud.
Even if nobody's there.
Even if nobody's there. The main goal is training your mouth, your brain, and your confidence all to work together consistently.
And the really good news, I guess, is you don't need anyone else to kick this off.
That's the critical bit. That simple shift, just going from inside your head to actually speaking out loud, it's huge. It affects how your brain processes and stores the language. You're engaging more senses.
How so?
Well, you hear yourself, right? You feel the physical act of making the sounds, your tongue, your lips, and you're actively building sentences. It creates stronger connections in your brain. It's like active recall. It cements vocabulary and grammar way better than just passive listening or reading.
Okay, but I can imagine it feels weird at first, talking to yourself.
Oh, definitely. It can feel strange, maybe a bit awkward initially, but honestly, that discomfort, it's a good sign. It means you're pushing your boundaries, you're growing, and pretty soon it'll feel completely normal, like, I don't know, brushing your teeth or something you just do.
Right. So if it feels weird but it works, how do people actually do it?
Yeah.
What are some practical ways to make it feel less like, talking to the walls?
Yeah, and what's great about the methods and the sources you sent over is just how simple and accessible they are. They really can blend right into your day. Let's start with everyday narration.
Narrating your day.
Literally, just describe what you're doing as you do it out loud. So if you're making breakfast,
You'd say.
okay, I'm making eggs now. I'm adding a bit of salt. I like my eggs well done. Or getting ready. Right, need to get dressed. I think I'll wear the blue shirt today. Weather looks okay. Just a running commentary.
Okay. I can see that.
Mm-hmm.
What else?
Another really good one is self-questioning and answering. Basically, you simulate a conversation with yourself, ask yourself a question, then answer it in detail. Like, what are my plans for today?
And then you'd answer.
Well, first I have work, then I need to grab some groceries, and later I want to call my friend. Or maybe, what do I enjoy doing in my free time? And you answer yourself, oh, I love reading, walking, listening to music. It helps me relax. See? It mimics dialogue.
Gotcha. And you mentioned something about focused bursts.
Right. Focused speaking bursts. This is great for flow. Pick a topic, anything. Your favorite film, what you did last weekend, a goal, set a timer, maybe 2 or 3 minutes, and just talk nonstop. The key rule, don't stop to correct yourself mid-flow. Just keep talking. Build that momentum.
Okay, so fluency over accuracy in that moment.
Exactly, for that exercise. And tied to that is storytelling and giving opinions. Tell a quick story a day, a memory, make one up. Or give your opinion on something simple, like, I believe learning English is important because, it connects people.
And what about mistakes? Because people will make them.
Of course. And that's where on-the-fly correction comes in. When you're speaking and you notice a mistake, don't stop or feel bad. Just sort of gently correct yourself and keep going. Like if you say, he goes to the store, you might catch it and say, wait, he goes to the store, and move on. It trains self-monitoring.
What I love about these, and what really jumped out from the materials, is how they just slot into your normal life.
Yeah.
You don't need fancy tech, no apps really, just your voice and, I suppose, the willingness to try it.
Exactly. It's incredibly low barrier.
But it sounds so simple. Maybe too simple for some people. How do these small, consistent acts actually lead to big results? What's the real payoff?
That's where the magic happens, really. The benefits compound in some pretty powerful ways. One of the absolute biggest ones. It eliminates fear and massively boosts confidence.
Because there's no one judging you.
Precisely. Your notes mention that nervousness, right? Making mistakes in front of people. When you speak alone, there's zero pressure, no judgment. You're totally free to experiment, mess up, try again. It's a safe space. And that safety builds real confidence for when you do speak with others.
Okay, that makes sense.
What else? Well, the flexibility is just amazing. You don't need to schedule time with the teacher or find a partner. You can practice while you're cooking dinner, walking the dog, folding laundry, whenever. 5 minutes here, 10 minutes there.
So it fits into anyone's life, pretty much.
Right. And this constant exposure, even short bursts, it seriously builds fluency because you're forcing your brain to do it all at once, find words, use grammar, structure thoughts, just like a real conversation.
And that helps reduce the translation time, right? Thinking directly in English.
Exactly. That's a major milestone. It encourages you to skip the translation step and think directly in English. That's a huge sign of progress.
What about pronunciation? Can you really improve that on your own?
Wow.
Without feedback?
Yes, absolutely. Speaking out loud is crucial for improving pronunciation. When you vocalize, you actually start hearing how words link together, the rhythm, the stress patterns in your own speech. You become much more aware. Some of the materials you shared even suggested mimicking sentences from podcasts or movies.
Oh yeah, shadowing.
Shadowing, exactly. It's a fantastic way to get the natural sound and rhythm. You start noticing your own patterns and can adjust. It makes your speech smoother, clearer.
And there's a discipline aspect too, isn't there?
Definitely. It builds discipline. Every time you choose to practice, even for 5 minutes, you're reinforcing your commitment. You're proving you don't need perfect conditions to make progress. It builds that habit muscle.
It really sounds empowering. You're in the driver's seat.
Completely. Total control. Your pace, your topics, repeating as much as you need. You're the boss of this practice session.
Okay, so for someone listening right now thinking, all right, I'm convinced, I want to try this. How do they actually start? What are the concrete steps?
Right, let's get practical. Based on those strategies we talked about, here's a straightforward action plan. Step 1. Choose your moment. Start small. Pick a consistent time, maybe 5 minutes when you wake up, or during your commute, or while washing dishes. Make it predictable.
Okay, create a habit trigger.
Exactly. Step 2. Start simple. For the first few days, just do that everyday narration. Describe what you're doing, seeing, feeling. I'm pouring coffee, the sky looks gray. Get your mouth moving, build comfort.
Easy does it.
Yep. Step 3. Add variety gradually. Once narration feels okay, bring the self-questioning. Or tell a very short story about yesterday. Give a simple opinion. Start stretching a bit.
Mix it up.
Step 4. Timed bursts. Use that timer. 2 minutes, maybe 5. Pick a random topic, your pet, your favorite food, your job, and just talk nonstop. Flow over perfection.
Build that speaking stamina.
Right. Step 5, record yourself. Now, this can feel a bit cringy at first,
Yeah, I can imagine.
but it's so valuable. Use your phone. Just record a minute or two. Then listen back. Don't judge harshly. Just notice what sounds good, what could be clearer. That self-awareness is goal.
Okay, bite the bullet and listen.
Yeah. And step 6, review and re-speak. Pick one recording, listen, maybe note 1 or 2 things, a sound you struggle with, a grammar point. Then re-record the same thing, focusing on improving just those bits. Active refinement.
So it's iterative.
Exactly. And finally, step 7, stay consistent. This is honestly the most crucial part. 5 minutes every single day is far better than 1 hour once a week. Consistency builds the muscle memory. It ingrains the language.
That really breaks it down. It seems very doable. But what about common roadblocks? What mistakes do people make when they try this? What should our listeners watch out for?
Great question. Knowing the pitfalls helps avoid them. A huge one is expecting perfection. So many people stop because they stumble over a word or make a grammar slip. Remember, this is practice. Progress, not perfection. Mistakes are totally normal, expected even.
So embrace the mistakes.
Embrace them. Another trap is going silent when you get stuck. Can't find the perfect word. Don't freeze. Describe it. Use simpler words. The thing for cleaning floors instead of vacuum. Keep the words flowing.
Keep the momentum. Yeah, that makes sense. What else? I imagine people might get stuck in a rut.
Definitely. Repeating the same simple sentences over and over, or only talking about easy, familiar topics. While repetition is good initially, you have to push yourself. Try new words, more complex sentences, different subjects.
Step outside the comfort zone.
Exactly. And a big one for many learners, translating directly from their native language. This really slows you down and often sounds unnatural in English. Really try to think directly in English. Even simple English thoughts are better than complex translated ones. Short and natural beats long and awkward.
And avoid comparing yourself. Right?
Oh, absolutely. Don't compare your solo practice to a native speaker or even another learner. This is your training ground. Focus on your progress.
Is there a risk of just talking, but not really listening to yourself?
Yes, rushing without listening, just churning out words without paying attention to how they sound. You need to pause sometimes, reflect, actually hear yourself. That's key for improvement, especially pronunciation.
And the biggest mistake?
Probably giving up too soon. Trying it for 3 days, feeling awkward, and deciding, this isn't working. Language learning takes time. Stick with it. Consistency is everything.
Okay, so knowing the benefits, the steps, and the pitfalls.
Yeah.
We wanted to give you something really concrete to get started. A challenge.
That's right. Let's make this real. We're calling it your 7-day speaking challenge. The mission, should you choose to accept it, is simple. For the next 7 days, commit to speaking English out loud for at least 5 minutes. Every single day, any topic, just speak freely.
5 minutes a day for 1 week seems achievable.
Totally. And to help you succeed, here are a few extra tips inspired by some of those resources you found. Maybe pre-select your topics. Jot down 7 simple ideas, 1 for each day. Takes the pressure off deciding what to say.
Good idea. Removes one hurdle.
Or try mirror talk. Stand in front of a mirror for 3-5 minutes. Talk about your day, your plans. It feels odd, but it builds focus. Even helps with eye contact for later.
Okay, interesting.
Create that daily English moment. Anchor it to something right after breakfast, during your walk. Make it non-negotiable. Maybe keep a voice diary. Just quick phone recordings. Don't even have to listen back right away, but track it.
Yeah.
Later, listening back can be super motivating.
See the progress.
Exactly. Or play the new words game. Pick, say, 3 new words each day and try to use them in a short story you tell yourself out loud. Active recall, making it fun.
You gamify it a bit.
Yeah. Describe photos from your phone out loud. Use a checklist or calendar. Visually track your streak. Seeing those check marks feels good.
Definitely.
And crucially, reward yourself. After the 7 days, do something nice for yourself. Favorite snack. Watch a movie in English. Reinforce the positive habit.
This challenge sounds like a great way to just
Yeah.
start, to build that momentum you talked about.
Yeah.
You're not waiting for fluency, you're actively building it.
Precisely.
Yeah.
1 spoken word, 1 sentence at a time. So thinking about all this, what does it really mean for you listening right now? What stands out to you about how powerful just using your own voice can be? It's interesting. Resources like the Mila Leo English Podcast channel, which you looked into, often emphasize this kind of self-practice. They even engage their audience in clever ways, like asking for a specific word if you listen to the end, showing that commitment matters. It highlights how valuable engaging with the material and celebrating your own dedication is.
Absolutely. And the main takeaway here is you don't need to wait. Not for the
Yeah.
perfect teacher, the perfect moment, the perfect conversation partner. You can start right now, just you and your voice, and begin building that fluency you're aiming for. We really hope this deep dive has given you some practical tools and, maybe more importantly, the confidence to try speaking English alone. Keep practicing, keep showing up for yourself. And hey, if you found this useful, we'd love it if you'd like, share, or subscribe. It helps others find the show. Thanks for joining us on the deep dive.